Hey everybody, it's Jake Tapper for CNN State of the Union and factcheck.org. This week we're going to be taking a look at a comment made by Senator Ted Cruz at the CNN South Carolina town hall, specifically talking about other candidates and their view of the Supreme Court decision which legalized same-sex marriage across the country. Take a listen to this clip from Senator Cruz, in which the Cruz campaign says Cruz is specifically referring to Donald Trump and Marco Rubio, as he has in similar forums in the past. Take a listen.
Likewise on marriage. You know, in June of last year, we saw a decision from the Supreme Court that was nothing short of tragic. Now, several of the Republican candidates, when that decision came down, put out statements that essentially said, it is the settled law of the land. We must accept it, surrender, and move on. Those are almost word for word the talking points of Barack Obama. I think there's something really wrong when Republican candidates are echoing the talking points of Barack Obama.
Is that true? Did Marco Rubio and Donald Trump say that the same-sex marriage ruling was settled law? We must accept it, surrender, and move on? Well, it's a lot more complicated than that, of course, but no, definitely not in Marco Rubio's case, and for Trump, not really. Let's take them one by one. Let's start with the reaction of Marco Rubio immediately after the Supreme Court decision. Rubio put out a statement saying, quote, "While I disagree with this decision, we live in a republic and must abide by the law. As we look ahead, it must be a priority of the next president to nominate judges and justices committed to applying the Constitution as written and originally understood." Now, saying we must abide by the law is not the same thing as saying the decision is settled law. And here's Marco Rubio explaining his position on December 13th.
It is current law. I don't believe any case law is settled law. Any future Supreme Court can change it. And ultimately, I will appoint Supreme Court justices that will interpret the Constitution as originally constructed.
The bottom line here is that Ted Cruz is mischaracterizing Rubio's position. While Rubio does not share Cruz's support for a constitutional amendment returning the power to regulate marriage back to the states, he is suggesting that he will appoint Supreme Court justices who would overturn that decision. Now let's turn to Donald Trump. In 2013, Trump said he was evolving on the issue of same-sex marriage, but not supportive of it. In September, on MSNBC's Morning Joe, Trump said he agreed with host Joe Scarborough that the court ruling is now the law.
You have to go with it. I mean, you have to go with it. The decision's been made, and that is the law of the land.
But in a January 31st appearance on Fox News Sunday, Trump did seem to suggest he was willing to appoint Supreme Court justices who would overturn the ruling.
I would strongly consider that, yes.
So, to sum up, Trump said he would consider appointing justices who would overturn the same-sex marriage ruling. Marco Rubio said he would definitively appoint justices who would interpret the Constitution in a conservative way that may lead to the overturning of the same-sex marriage ruling. Neither of those is the position of Barack Obama on same-sex marriage. A reminder to all the politicians out there, you're perfectly entitled to your own opinion, not your own facts. I'm Jake Tapper for CNN State of the Union and factcheck.org.